Earth's greatest protector vanished, without a word. The Justice League searched the stars, but he didn't want to be found. Rumors spread that Superman had fallen, but no one believed it, until Iron Man intercepted a signal from the edge of the galaxy. It wasn't a distress call, it was a declaration. Superman was alive, but no longer Earth's. Standing beside Thanos, he called the Avengers the real threat. And in that moment, the universe changed forever. They called him Earth's last line of defense, a symbol, a shield, a god in a cape. But even gods can vanish. No explosion, no warning, no farewell speech. One moment, Superman was in the skies above Metropolis, tearing through a rift in space that threatened to swallow the eastern seaboard. The next, he was gone. At first, the world panicked. Was he dead? Had the rift claimed him? The Justice League said he was pursuing the anomaly, that he'd be back. But weeks passed, then months. No signal, no heat signature. Not even Batman could track him. And that scared everyone more than the rift ever did. Whispers spread in secret channels. The Martian Manhunter refused to speak on it. Diana stopped appearing publicly. Even Lex Luthor, usually loud and hungry for the spotlight, stayed eerily silent, like he knew something the rest didn't. Then, the first real sign came not from Metropolis or Gotham, but from deep space. A broken ship drifted near nowhere, carrying a single survivor. A Nova Corps scout, barely alive, burned and blinded. But he spoke one name before he flatlined. Kal-El. It didn't make sense. Why would Superman be on the edge of the galaxy? More importantly, why would he destroy a Nova patrol? The Avengers picked it up next. Stark rerouted satellites. Carol Danvers crossed systems in record time. And finally, Tony intercepted a transmission, encrypted in Kryptonian, pulsing on repeat from Titan's ruins. The ruins Thanos once called home. And the message? I am not coming back. Those 5 words hit harder than any invasion. Why would Superman leave Earth behind? And why Titan? Stark brought it to the League. Tempers flared. Blame was thrown. Batman said the message was forged. Diana wasn't so sure. But someone in the shadows already knew the truth, and that someone had seen it coming for years. Because while Earth had worshipped Superman as their savior, they had also chained him with expectations, politics, and moral lines he was never meant to follow. Every year, a new crisis, a new war, a new villain created by their own broken systems. And through it all, they expected him to stay good, to never fall, to always smile. But deep inside, Kal-El had questions. Who decides what's right? Who truly benefits from endless heroism? The turning point came months earlier, during a mission nobody talked about. A level 9 threat, Galactus, the Devourer. Earth should have been wiped. The only reason it wasn't was because Superman made a deal. And standing beside Galactus that day was Thanos. They didn't fight. They talked. Imagine it, 2 beings, both feared, both worshipped, both blamed for things they never chose. Thanos, the Mad Titan, told Kal-El a simple truth. You try to save them. I try to balance them. But in the end, both of us are punished for being what they could never be, inevitable. Superman didn't agree. Not then. But the seed was planted. Back on Earth, the politics worsened. Governments began weaponizing metahumans. The Justice League was ordered to submit to oversight. Superman was called to testify, not as a hero, but as a threat. A senator asked if he'd ever kill to protect peace. He didn't answer, but he remembered Thanos' words. Peace is not given, it is taken. Then came the rift, not an accident, but an opening. A gateway, engineered from tech stolen during the last Skrull War. Superman saw it for what it was, an experiment gone wrong, hidden from the League, fueled by greed and fear. He sealed it, but he didn't come back, because he'd made his choice. He found Thanos again, not as an enemy, but as an equal. The Titan had changed. No longer the Infinity Gauntlet wielding monster, but a strategist, a philosopher, building something new. Not destruction, order. And this time, Superman listened. He saw a galaxy not ruled by fear, but governed by discipline. Planets once in chaos, now thriving under Thanos' reformed empire. It wasn't perfect, but it was working. So when the Justice League finally found him, he wasn't hiding. He stood beside Thanos on Titan, in full view of every camera and scanner Earth had. No longer in blue and red, but in black. A new crest forged from Krypton's oldest symbol. Not hope, but truth. And when Diana asked him to come home, he simply said, "Home doesn't exist anymore." He didn't flinch when the Avengers arrived. Thor called him brainwashed. Stark tried reasoning. Even Banner stepped forward. But Kal-El just looked at them like they were children, clinging to an ideal that never worked. "Your peace is built on denial," he said. "You fight villains you create, then call it justice." They asked what he wanted. He said balance. And then he turned his back, not because he hated them, not because he was corrupted, but because, for the first time in his life, he believed Earth wasn't worth saving. The world didn't mourn. It panicked. News outlets couldn't spin it. Politicians scrambled to hide behind diplomacy. But the truth was already viral. Every screen, every feed, the image of Superman beside Thanos played on a loop, like a prophecy no one wanted to believe. Earth's greatest hero, standing with its greatest enemy. Not possessed, not forced, chosen. People called it betrayal. Others called it evolution. The split was immediate. Cities erupted in protest. Militias formed in secret. Metahuman registration surged as governments armed themselves against the very savior they once relied on. Meanwhile, the Justice League fractured. Hal Jordan vanished into deep space. Aquaman returned to Atlantis and sealed the borders. Diana refused all interviews. Only Batman remained silent and watchful, already working on a contingency no one would understand until it was too late. But Earth wasn't the only one shaken. The Avengers gathered. Not just Earth's core team, but every enhanced individual who had once stood under their banner, called back under one order: prepare for confrontation. Stark didn't sleep. He hadn't since the transmission, not because of fear, but because of guilt. He'd been the one to recruit Kal-El once during a cosmic crisis. He'd seen the pressure Superman carried, the weight of being perfect, of always doing the right thing. But he never thought he'd crack. Now Stark was building something bigger than Hulkbuster, something even Banner refused to touch. A weapon made from vibranium, extremis, and a fragment of the destroyed Mind Stone. Because deep down even Stark knew, you don't fight Superman. You stop him, or you don't live long enough to regret it. Elsewhere, Nick Fury activated Protocol Phantom, a hidden cell of deep cover operatives trained for off-world recon. One of them made contact with the Nova Corps remnants. The message came back redacted, but one word broke through the distortion: obey. Superman hadn't just joined Thanos. He was leading. The reformed Titan Empire was real, and Kal-El was at its center, not as a soldier, but as a commander. Planets once loyal to the Kree were falling without a fight, not through invasion, but through inspiration. Superman's voice, broadcast across systems, spoke not of conquest, but of order. No war, no crime, no corruption. He promised balance. And many believed him, because when Superman speaks, entire worlds listen. But not everyone. Carol Danvers wasn't waiting for another transmission. She left Earth without clearance. Straight to Titan. Straight to Kal-El. She didn't bring an army. Just one question: why? He welcomed her, showed her what they were building. No prisons, no politicians. A society ruled by reason, not chaos. It was peaceful, but wrong, because it was peace at the cost of freedom. You've seen what freedom brings, Kal said. Corruption, violence, repetition. She called it cult. He called it clarity. Then he let her go. I'm not your enemy, he said, watching her board her ship. But I won't let Earth ruin the galaxy like it's ruined itself. Back on Earth, the silence ended. Thanos sent a diplomat. Not a monster, not a fleet. Just a being known as Seraphim, cloaked in light, bearing a message. The Titan Union offers peace, But if Earth strikes first, it will be seen as a declaration of war. The United Nations laughed, until Seraphim showed them a map, real-time projections of Titan's fleet, cloaked and circling Earth's outer orbit, invisible to all but Kryptonian eyes. And then Seraphim burned into the sky above New York. The words balance or extinction seared into the clouds for an hour before fading. Earth held its breath. The world's greatest weapons were useless. Superman had seen them all, knew their codes, their faults, their human weaknesses. But one thing Kal-El didn't count on was Bruce Wayne. While gods debated philosophies and empires rose in the stars, Batman was already 2 steps ahead. He had no powers, no armies, just plans, old ones, dangerous ones, and one asset Thanos didn't see coming: Doom, not a variant, the real Victor Von Doom, imprisoned in a quantum lock deep beneath a forgotten Wakandan vault, contained by a pact forged by T'Challa, Stark, and Strange. That pact was now broken, because Batman released him. Why Doom? Because only Doom hated Superman and Thanos equally. Only Doom could crack the code Kal-El had built across Titan's command grid. Only Doom could design a weapon strong enough to fracture Superman's mind, not his body. It wasn't kryptonite. That was primitive. It was something worse. A memory bomb. A psychological implant, buried deep within Superman's consciousness from the day he arrived on Earth. Doom had found it, enhanced it. All Batman had to do was get close enough to activate it. And for that, he needed help. So Bruce turned to the last person Kal-El still called brother. Lex Luthor. Not the corporate puppet, not the suit and tie villain of old, but the Lex who had disappeared 2 years ago, hiding in the shadows, working on something forbidden. A neural mirror of Superman's own mind, copied before his defection, kept offline and off-record. Lex didn't need convincing. "I told you," he said, stepping into the light, eyes cold. He was never ours. The trap was set. Now Earth waits, not because it's afraid, but because it only has one shot. And somewhere above the clouds, in the black between stars, Superman watches, eyes glowing, heart silent, still believing he's right, still waiting for the world to prove him wrong. The sky above Earth didn't darken when Superman returned. It went silent. Satellites lost signal at the same moment. Storms froze mid-rotation. Every global defense system shut itself down without firing a single shot. No explosions, no warning, just control, absolute and effortless. Superman descended over the Atlantic, hovering just beyond the atmosphere, cape unmoving, eyes calm. He wasn't here to attack. He wasn't here to negotiate. He was here to end uncertainty. The message went out across every frequency, every language, every screen. "This world will not be harmed today," he said, "but it will choose." People listened, not because they were afraid, but because deep down, many of them agreed with him. War had never stopped. Corruption had never ended. Heroes kept saving the world, and the world kept breaking itself again. Superman offered something different: order. Inside the Avengers command bunker, alarms screamed anyway. Stark stared at the hologram in disbelief. Thor tightened his grip on Stormbreaker. Banner's heart rate spiked, but Hulk stayed buried, refusing to come out. Because this time felt different. This time, Superman wasn't angry. That scared them more than rage ever could. Batman moved. The bait had to be perfect, emotional, personal, something Kal-El wouldn't ignore. Lex provided it. A broadcast signal hijacked Superman's own frequency. A voice only he associated with safety, with home. "Clark, please come back." Lois Lane. Not a recording, not a trick. Real, alive, standing on the steps of the Daily Planet, refusing evacuation, refusing protection, saying the one thing Superman had never learned to ignore: "I believe in you." Superman froze. For the first time since Titan, doubt flickered. He descended, slowly, carefully. The moment his boots touched concrete, the world exhaled. People watched from behind shattered windows and flickering screens as their God stood among them again. He looked the same, but something was missing: the warmth, Lois stepped forward. No fear, no hesitation. She touched his chest. "You don't have to carry this alone," she said. And for a fraction of a second, just one, Clark Kent resurfaced. That was the window. Batman activated the device. Not a weapon, not a bomb, a pulse. Invisible, silent, buried deep within Superman's mind, igniting memories he didn't know had been altered. Krypton, but not the one he remembered. Not the burning skies and dying screams. Not his parents holding him as the planet tore itself apart. This version was different. This version showed Krypton surviving, thriving. A society of absolute order. No crime, no dissent, no chaos. Every life calculated, balanced, controlled. And at the center of it all, a symbol. Not hope, authority. Superman staggered. The ground cracked beneath him as the false memories clashed with the real ones. His breathing faltered. His vision blurred. Voices overlapped. Jor-El, Lara, Thanos, Lois, all fighting for control. Lex smiled from the shadows. "Show him who he really is," he whispered. Superman screamed. The shockwave flattened 6 city blocks. Glass shattered across the skyline. Heroes launched into action, not to attack, but to survive. Thor struck first, lightning tearing through the sky, hammer colliding with Superman's chest. It did nothing. Kal-El followed, slamming him into the stratosphere. He didn't retaliate. He didn't even look angry. He looked broken, because the implant wasn't making him weak. It was making him remember, not just Krypton, but every time Earth failed him, every war restarted, every villain spared who killed again, every government deal broken, every life saved that chose destruction anyway. Superman saw it all at once, and he understood. He landed again, eyes burning brighter than ever. "No more lies," he said. Then he moved. Not wildly, not violently, precisely. Thor was disarmed in half a second. Kal-El was buried under a collapsing skyscraper. Iron Man's suit locked up mid-flight, systems overwritten by Kryptonian code. Hulk finally emerged and was dropped unconscious with a single nerve strike. Batman watched his plans unravel. "This wasn't supposed to happen," he muttered. Lex stepped back. "No," he said softly. "It was." Because the memory bomb didn't fracture Superman's mind. It completed it. Kal-El rose into the air, cape snapping violently now, not with rage, but with certainty. "You wanted me to remember who I am," he said, voice echoing across the city. "I do." He looked at Lois. "Sadness. Love. Finality. I tried your way." Then he looked at Batman. "You never trusted me." And finally, he looked to the sky. Thanos' fleet uncloaked. Hundreds of ships. Silent. Waiting. Superman lifted his hand. Every hero, still standing, froze. "This is the last chance," he said. "Stand down. Accept balance. Or be removed from it." No threats. No cruelty. Just inevitability. Batman clenched his fists. He had no more contingencies. No hidden cards. This was the moment every plan was meant to prevent. The moment Superman decided he was right. And the worst part? Half the world agreed with him. Governments began transmitting surrender codes. Cities powered down defenses. People knelt, not in fear, but relief. For the first time in history, war might actually end. But at a cost no one wanted to admit. Because as Superman turned back toward the stars, Thanos' voice echoed through the fleet's channel. "Well done, my friend." Superman didn't smile. He didn't celebrate. He simply said, "This time we finish it." And Earth realized too late, this wasn't an invasion. It was an ascension. They thought surrender would bring peace. Instead, it brought silence. The skies were still. No battles. No fire. Just the eerie calm of a world under observation. Above every capital city, a single ship hovered, silent, unmoving, pulsing with the same Kryptonian frequency. Watching, judging, waiting. Superman never touched ground again. Not physically. His presence was felt, not seen. His voice replaced government addresses. His logo, reimagined into the black crest of balance, projected across buildings, digital feeds, currency, even education. Children stopped reciting national anthems. They recited the code. Justice without order is just chaos in costume. It wasn't fear. It was function. Crime dropped to near zero. Wars stopped instantly. Famine ended within a month, not through aid, but in forced distribution. Superpowered conflict? Non-existent. Every known mutant, enhanced, gifted, or cursed being was given two options: register or relocate off-world. Some accepted it. Others vanished. Because Superman no longer debated. He no longer waited. He executed. And Thanos? He faded into the shadows. His work was done. His armies became administrators, enforcers, diplomats in armor, not conquering, maintaining. This wasn't a dictatorship. It was a system. But systems rot slowly, quietly, from the inside. The first crack appeared in Wakanda. A blackout. Just 3 seconds. A blip. The ship above the capital stuttered, its sensors blinking out. By the time they rebooted, 5 operatives had gone missing. Among them, Shuri. No trace. No signal. No bodies. The rebellion had begun. Not loud. Not public. Surgical. They called themselves the Remnant. Old names. New loyalties. Some from the shadows. Others once called heroes. Doctor Strange, long thought to be meditating beyond dimensions, re-emerged with blood on his hands and fire in his eyes. He'd seen the future. He'd walked every possible thread. Only one ended, without extinction. And it involved betrayal, not of Superman, but by him. Strange found Peter Parker in hiding. The kid was older now, hardened, silent. He didn't wear the suit anymore. He just carried it in a bag like a memory too heavy to bury. You were the symbol of hope, Strange told him. Not him. Peter refused, until they showed him the footage. Superman overseeing the erasure of an entire village, one that refused biometric registration. No survivors, no mourning, just deletion. That broke Peter more than any villain ever had. He put the suit back on. Elsewhere, the impossible happened. Hulk disappeared. Not killed. Not captured. Gone. Banner woke up alone in Siberia, body broken, mind frayed. The last thing he remembered was fire, green fire. That didn't come from him. Reports surfaced of another Hulk. Smarter. Colder. Wearing armor made of vibranium and Kryptonian steel. A failed clone? No. A backup plan. Superman had grown too smart. He didn't just prepare for enemies. He prepared for himself. And now his backup was off script. Meanwhile, in deep space, an ancient beacon blinked awake. One that hadn't pulsed since the fall of Asgard. Thor felt it before he saw it. A scream across the cosmos. A call only a god could answer. He returned to Earth. And he was not alone. Beside him, 2 beings stepped forward. Silver Surfer, freed from the void, no longer a herald, but a judge. And Beta Ray Bill, the one warrior who had once beaten Thor and refused the throne. They came with one message. Krypton is not balance. Krypton is fear in disguise. Superman responded instantly. No anger, no posturing. He simply met them above Earth. And he asked one question. Do you challenge peace? Surfer looked into his eyes and said, we challenge your definition of it. The battle that followed didn't reach Earth. It hovered above it like a second sun. Thor struck first. Lightning met heat vision in a clash that warped space itself. Beta Ray Bill wielded Stormbreaker like a scalpel, not a hammer, carving through Superman's defenses faster than any mortal could track. And the Surfer? He didn't fight with force. He fought with truth. Cosmic awareness let him dive into Kal-El's mind, not to destroy, but to awaken, to show him the faces of those who died under his perfect system. The children erased, the free mind silenced, the heroes executed in silence, their deaths spun as departures. Superman staggered, but then he whispered a word, and every satellite above Earth detonated. Darkness fell, not from night, but from control. With one command, Kal-El shut the planet's eyes. And in the blackout, A remnant operative struck. Flash. But not Barry. Wally. He didn't need power to win. He needed timing. He placed something in Superman's suit during the chaos. Something that vibrated just outside reality. Impossible to detect. Engineered by Doom. Powered by fragments of the Speed Force. A moral mirror. Every time Superman justified an action, it fed him back the full consequence. Not the data, the screams, the pain, the silence of a mother whose child disappeared. The last breath of a soldier erased by orbital judgment. The mind of a child who no longer believed in heroes. Superman collapsed. For 1 hour, he didn't move. Earth waited. Thanos waited. Lois watched from her window and cried. Because when Superman stood again, he didn't rise in anger. He rose in confusion. "I was helping," he whispered. And for the first time, he sounded human. That terrified Thanos more than anything. Because a human Kal-El was unpredictable. The wind was still. Superman hovered above the ruins of what used to be silence. Around him, the skies held no ships. The world held its breath. Even the stars above seemed to pause. He could hear everything. Every voice, every heartbeat, every thought that whispered his name, in fear, in loyalty, in betrayal. The remnant had done more than resist. They had reminded him of why he ever cared. And for the first time, he doubted not the world, but himself. Thanos arrived, not with a fleet, alone, cloaked in armor built for war, yet walking like a father approaching a wayward son. "You feel it now," Thanos said. "The burden of clarity, of truth." Superman didn't answer. "You gave them perfection," the Titan said. "And still they resist. That is why you must lead without mercy." Superman looked at Earth, at the millions who still knelt, at the few who still stood. "I didn't come to rule," Kal-El said quietly. "I came to save." Thanos stepped closer, then save them from themselves. Save them from chaos, from choice, silence. Then, no, it wasn't loud, but it shattered everything. "I won't become what I was sent to stop." In a blink, Thanos struck. Faster than thought, heavier than time. The skies tore open as God fought God again. But this time, Superman didn't fight to win. He fought to end it. Because the world didn't need another ruler. It needed freedom, even if that freedom was flawed. Even if it meant losing everything. And someone was already prepared to pay that cost. Lex Luthor. He stepped into the fray with a device Doom swore was unstable. A singularity bullet. One shot. One sacrifice. It wouldn't kill Thanos. It would erase him across all timelines. Lex locked eyes with Kal-El from afar. "This makes us even," he whispered. He fired. The blast struck Thanos mid-charge. The Titan didn't scream. He just disappeared. Not in death. In deletion. Gone. Forever. The skies cleared. The silence cracked. The ships powered down. The system collapsed. And Superman, Kal-El, fell to one knee. Not from defeat. From choice. He looked at the remnant, at the world below, at the stars above. "No more kings," he said. "Not me. Not anyone." Then he vanished. No one knows where he went. Some say he watches from the sun. Some say he left this universe behind. Others believe he finally chose to be Clark Kent again. And Earth? It healed. Slowly. Messily. With scars. But free. Because, in the end, the final betrayal wasn't Superman leaving Earth. It was Earth betraying what Superman believed in, and him refusing to let that betrayal define him. He didn't fall. He rose. Alone. But finally, human.